What if you could stop chasing weekend guests and start earning consistent income 1 month at a time? I'm Vivian Yip, host, investor, and founder of crewhomes.com and the Hestia certification. And I believe there's a better way to build wealth through real estate. Welcome to the Midterm Rental Movement podcast, where I sit down with real hosts from all walks of life who are building wealth with furnished rentals without burning out. You'll hear how they got started, where they invest, and how they've built their Airbnb business to being stress-free, sustainable, and scalable. Whether you're a short-term host tired of cleaning every weekend or a busy professional looking for a smarter income stream, this podcast is your blueprint. Ready to join the movement? Subscribe now. And if you've got a fully furnished home, list it for free at crewhomes.com. That's CRUhomes.com, because real freedom starts with real income 1 month at a time. This is why the pros don't rely on Airbnb alone. If you're still only using Airbnb or VRBO without any software connected, you are putting your entire business at risk, especially if you're hosting extended stays, because at that point, you're not just offering vacation rentals anymore. You could be creating tenancy issues without even knowing it. And if you're not collecting signatures on your innkeeper agreement, you are wide open. That's why I use API connected software like Journey. It automates everything from messaging and calendar sync to the check-in process, deposits, and yes, even getting that innkeeper agreement signed automatically before every guest arrives. My cleaners get scheduled without me lifting a finger. Guests check in, pay, sign, and get support, all without me being glued to my phone. Use my link below to get your free demo appointment with Journey. And if you use my link, you'll get access to a special insider program with no onboarding fees, no property listing minimums, just simple automation that protects your business and saves your sanity. Go pro, go automated. Click the link and schedule your demo now. Hey, welcome to the Springboard to Wealth conference. I'm here with Myka and Mahogany.
Yep.
I've been following Myka for, a few months now, and I was like, I need to know who this dude is. And Lo and behold, he's at the same conference as I am. So I want you to tell the audience, what do you do and who are you and who are you married to?
So I'm Myka artist. I do short-term and mid-term rentals. With my wife here, Mahogany artist. We own our own short-term rental company called Cher BNB, where we do short-term, mid-term. We also manage for others. And then we also have a podcast called Live, Let, Thrive. I think we're, if not the longest running, probably the second or third longest running short-term rental podcast with me and my partner, Steve. And then we that's what we do and manage short-term rentals. And I'm married to Mahogany here, and she helped me start it all in 2016 or 17.
Wow, you guys are early trailblazers.
Yeah.
What do you say to someone that's like, I'm going to start my first short-term rental today?
I would say be very careful. I personally, like you, I like the midterm rental strategy a little bit better. So I would see if you're going to go short-term, I would say more or less look at a vacation rental market, because I would rather you go to like a place where you can do a short-term and mid-term split, like we talk about being in like a city where you have hospitals, or where there's construction workers coming in, or where there's multiple avatars coming in. Yeah. So you will have a better clientele to serve. Short-term rentals are great, but I'm more of a mid-term rental person, so I like to use short-term in between my mid-term rental clients.
All right. What about you? Do you have an opinion? What do you think?
Yeah, sure. I would say do your research in your area, of course. I would say find a mentor, even if it's a virtual mentor that you don't actually pay. Just YouTube University, just figure out if that's what you really want to do before you hop into it. From the very beginning of setup through the processes of everything, like the whole thing, map it out and make sure that's what you want to do.
Yeah. So you guys get to interview a ton of people with that podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Walk me through maybe the top 5 mistakes people make when they're buying and acquiring a property and thinking they're going to do Airbnb.
The first thing I noticed they don't do is the laws. They don't check the short-term rental laws in their area. And
is that their fault or the realtor's fault?
Oh, realtor's fault, hands down, I would say. But you have to do your own due diligence. However, there are realtors, and this is why I've said this 6 years ago. If you're a realtor and you're in any city and you understand short-term rentals, it's going to put you ahead of the curve as far as the type of buyers that you can serve. That, like knowing the laws, and then the next thing is like HOAs. Like knowing not to purchase and buy in HOAs. We were early proponent, so we bought an HOA, thought we could get away with it, and quickly got shut down. And that's how we got into short-term, midterm rentals. We got into corporate rentals, midterm rentals with a condo. We eventually 1031 exchanged that to something bigger and better. However, it's usually the laws. Another one I would say is they overestimate their cash flow. They're not doing like proper due diligence. AirDNA is great for like, running numbers. I personally have been moving over to like Price Labs market dashboard. It's been like the best thing ever is using Price because it's more legitimate data because it's coming directly from like OTAs, not only OTAs, but like property management platforms where you can get information for direct booking. So I like that. Pricing, the overestimating pricing laws, HOAs.
Bad partnerships.
Oh yeah, bad partnerships. If you get into a bad and a lot of people like to do partnerships, and that's one thing. Like me and Mahogany, like she's my number one partner. Like we try to avoid going to partnerships with everyone. We've done bad partnerships and we've had good partnerships. Like I have one really good partnership with a property in DFW that's up in Richardson, and I mean, like it's an arbitrage property, and I've gotten away from arbitrage, but it probably brings us. I think the best month we had was like 10,000 a month that month just from a midterm rental client. But that's from a good partner who also understands the business, and we have different strengths that we can bounce off of each other. So what did I name? 4?
Yeah, you got one
4.
more.
Ooh, trying to think of another one. What's another one? Oh,
Don't be cheap with it. Don't set up cheap.
Yes, being cheap. Because I think we were just on panel and someone did bring this up, being cheap. The days where you could, like my partner Steve always says, the days where you could just put your grandma's couch on Airbnb and make a bunch of money are over with.
Yeah.
So you do have to kind of do your due diligence, do the accent wall thing. If you're going to be the Airbnb route, the accent walls, make it look pretty. I used to do Wayfair, but we've moved over into like more of the Amazon business, getting like our furniture from there. Zenith, getting the right type of furniture, like Zenith beds, making sure it's going to last a long time. Yeah, it's just, don't be cheap anymore. You can't be cheap being like on the short-term rental side.
And I think that's really important to say that don't go cheap, because at any point in time, maybe you pivot into midterm rentals.
Yes.
People aren't just staying for a weekend anymore. They're going to stay for an extended period of time. And you want to give them that comfort, because when they're comfortable, they're going to want to stay, or if they need to stay longer, they're going to extend.
Yes.
You can't force them to stay longer if they don't need to, but they have options to go somewhere else if you're not comfortable. And those options are becoming more and more plenty.
Yes. Oh, another mistake. Oh, one of my biggest ones.
Let's hear it.
You know what it is? Depending upon the OTAs and not having a direct marketing for your own business. The biggest thing that I've noticed, and I always tell people, every person that comes in from Airbnb is Airbnb's client, but it's your job to make them your client by the time that they walk out the door and they've had that experience. So I always tell people, if you can use like a StayFi to collect their information, start marketing to them, you can also build midterm clientele from short-term clientele who've stayed at your property and they've enjoyed it. You can tell them, hey, we have an opening next month. If you have any family coming in town for an extended period of time, we've gotten midterms off doing that. That direct clientele, I think people really, really miss out on that because we get addicted to the OTAs, the Airbnb. It's like Airbnb to me is like a 2-week paycheck.
Yeah.
It's addicting. However, if you learn how to build that clientele to come directly to you, because like right now, we probably have 1 or 2 Airbnb reservations. Most of them are direct clientele directly to us. That's the biggest thing you can do. You don't have to worry about Airbnb, I guess, getting mad. You're having to refund, things of that nature. You can remove the OTA and you can really build that brand of being direct. And also you're building helps you to become a better hospitality host because you're in the hospitality business.
100%.
Yeah.
What are the best ways, other than StayFi? Is there other ways to convert them into a direct booking guest?
So
and can you do that with midterm rental guests?
All of our midterms is like that. So one thing that we really do, we utilize LinkedIn. We build connections with realtors, relocation realtors, insurance agents. We build connections through there. And then we go and make friends with like the people that are on LinkedIn and send them connection requests, let them know who we are. And my VA does this for us full time.
What does the message look like?
That message is like, we'll say, hey, hello, I have an AI agent do it for me and my VA, but from me, my direct account, it says, hello, my name's Myka Artist. I'm the owner of the co-founder of Cher BNB. We've done business with your company in the past, and we were looking to maybe expand and have more business with you. And we have properties in Central Arkansas and the DFW market. And we built that connection. Most of the time, like if they were ALE, they're like, oh, well, go here and list your property through us. Or if they're with Alacrity Solutions, go here and list your property with us. And sometimes, like with ALE, I've sent them messages and they're like, oh, we're looking for a place right now. And boom, I just have it right there. And then you build that clientele and they'll just call you or email you.
What do you do? Okay, keep going.
Something else that we use to advertise is we really stick to our brand colors in our units, which are orange and blue. We put things inside like magnets or coasters on the fridge with QR codes to the direct website, especially back when we were using Airbnb mostly. How do they get to you? How do you get past Airbnb? You can't post a lot of stuff on the platform to say you do have a website.
Right.
So that's helped a lot too, along with the Stay-Fi in the unit. They see it's a brand and not just someone throwing up a Airbnb or something.
I love the whole branding thing of even in your specific units with the paint color, because sometimes when you walk into certain hotels, you walk in automatic, you know exactly where you are. Mm-hmm. So that's great because it feels familiar for people to come back to a place, especially if they do projects and they come back and they're like, okay, this is familiar again when they rebook with you. I love that. So how do you get people to respond to you on LinkedIn? Because I feel like there's so many bots out there. Sometimes whenever I get some free time and I feel like I'm on a mission, I'll just go crazy on LinkedIn, but I don't do it as a normal thing. I should probably create myself an agent and do that for me. But it sometimes it just feels exhausting for me. Is there easier ways to get direct bookings? If you've got a rental, whether it's short-term, mid-term, or long-term, you need a solid insurance policy that's actually made for landlords. I use Steadily because it's fast, digital, and built for real estate investors just like us. No long phone calls, no back and forth, just a clean, modern way to get coverage. You can get a quote in under 2 minutes with Steadily.com. Again, that's Steadily.com, modern insurance for modern hosts. Check out the link below to get your quote today.
Yes. So let's say LinkedIn's not working for you. Send them an email, pick up the phone. I'm going to be honest, the phone is the best way. If you can just go and find ALE, most of the people on LinkedIn, if you go and just do some digging and research, you can find a direct line to them and just give them a call and let them know who you are and just be like, hey, by the way, I sent you a LinkedIn message. I didn't get a response, but I wanted to let you know who I am. Phone calls are the biggest way to build that pipeline that we've been directly calling them, because then you build a relationship with them. One of my good friends who came on the podcast, Jesse Vasquez, a lot of people know him. He also said, man, one thing that we took from him was sending them like treats, gift cards to them and just let them know that you're a real person. Because I do agree, like, yeah, it becomes like really chatty, thinking it's like an AI agent. It does become overwhelming because people send me messages too and I don't respond.
And something else that we have to do is actually engage with the people. So maybe before sending the message, go through, like their stuff or say congratulations if they're posting something. And then if it's not them, maybe their friends or someone who's in their network. Yeah. Because then they can look at your history and see that you are engaging with people, you are a real person, and it's not just a bot. Because you said that congratulations to me 2 months ago, and now I'm recognizing your name in this email or in this message.
So you guys talk about making phone calls and building relationships. How many units do you guys have?
We currently have, 8. We just bought my mom's on. So 8. Yeah, total of 8. 1 in DFW, so 9. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think it's worth the effort if someone just owns one property to make those phone calls?
Absolutely. The reason why I say with those one properties, if you make those relationships with one property, that's going to streamline you when you actually build on and add more properties, because now you can go back to your email list. Hey, by the way, we just added on another property. And that's, I guess we didn't really talk about, was our email list. Because after we get them off of like LinkedIn, we have a direct email to them. We do add them to an email campaign where they get emails at least every month. And then once you let them know, hey, by the way, we have another property coming online soon, they may be like, oh, it's already in their database and in their head. So yes, start now.
Are you seeing any trend at all for less inquiries for furnished housing from the insurance relocation companies?
That is always dependent upon your area. So there are places in Arkansas, not so much, because we have a lot of fires, floods, and tornadoes. So like tornado season, we always have like a midterm person. Like last year, I think everything was filled just due to tornadoes because we had a really bad tornado hit. Now, if there's like a good clean season of like no weather issues, then it usually goes down, and that's when we more or less pivot to our construction workers. And that's why I think multiple avatars is like the key, because in the state of Arkansas, like the central Arkansas area, all of their construction for the city. I don't know why they do this, because they kind of take away jobs from the people that live there. It's all outsourced to like people from Nebraska. So like people from Nebraska may come down for a few months, do like lay like the AT&T fiber, and then go back home, or come back down and do more work. So you have to have multiple avatars. So yeah, insurance does slow down at times, but depending on certain areas.
So I don't have a ton of experience in cat housing, right? Well, catastrophic housing.
Okay.
Like when it comes to floods and fires and tornadoes. But we recently had a major flood in Central Texas. Ooh, and I was put in touch with a lady whose house washed away. Oof. Really, really sad. She had an 8-week-old baby. Her husband, 2 dogs, 3 cats. Yep. And when I started looking at her insurance policy, I was really excited and happy for her, because she had State Farm, she had ALE coverage, she had all this stuff. But because her house washed away through floods, it became a FEMA issue. So all of her insurance was negated. And then it was FEMA that kicked in, and FEMA only gave her $2,000 of ALE money. Do you ever look at the insurance policies for your tornado clients?
Yes, we always look at the ALE, like the additional living expenses.
So they had tornado coverage, right? But it's not FEMA.
Yeah, I've never done with a FEMA one. I haven't dealt with that. Yeah, because all of ours, we look at what we try to do is look at the ALE and how much, their yearly coverage is. And then depending on how long their property is going to be down, you can charge depending on that. Yeah. But I have not dealt with the FEMA thing. Now, I do know flooding is a bit different, because we just 1031 to property that was in a flood zone. And FEMA...
Into a flood zone?
No. We 1031 out of it. Yeah, because it was in a flood zone, and it was really costing us. Flood insurance is expensive. But no, we have not had that issue. So how did that work out for you?
So it actually wasn't for me that it worked out. What she ended up doing, because can you imagine, you've got like a $600,000 home, you've got a mortgage on it, it washes away. All of a sudden you're left with no asset, a mortgage payment, and then you still have to find temporary housing that you have to pay for out of pocket.
Yeah.
It's horrendous. And I ended up asking her what she did. She ended up applying for forbearance. So she was able to modify her loan, or in some way, shape, or form, get forbearance, so that at least freed her some funds to be able to, instead of paying for a mortgage, I think she was able to get furnished rentals. So
that is crazy. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
But she didn't have flood insurance?
She did have flood insurance.
She did.
But it comes from FEMA. Okay. FEMA's max is $200,000.
Yeah.
That's it.
You know what?
$200,000.
The property that we sold FEMA did take over the insurance. I think it's called like FIPA 1.0 or 2.0 or something like that. Yeah, they did take over, but we never had to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I hope nobody ever has to use it. It's
seriously
so traumatic. So, well, what else can you tell us about your business?
Man, so we mainly operate in Central Arkansas and the DFW. We have one in the DFW. We're going to probably try to get more. We used to have I think we had 5 in the DFW and 5 more in Houston. So we had like a total of like 20 at one time. But like the Texas market, like Houston really slowed down during like after COVID a little bit, because everyone was hopping in. And so it really started slowing down, and the type of units we had weren't attracting the type of guests that we wanted. So in our business, we mainly cater to like 3-bed, 2-bath houses. You have to have a backyard, fenced backyard, and then a 2-car garage, because we're only cater to families. And that's where our midterm play comes in those markets, because we niched it down to like, that's the type of property we want, and that's the type of guests we serve.
I love that. So it sounds like I'm hearing most of your buy box. If someone were to say, I'm completely new to real estate investing, but I really like the midterm rental strategy, because even though the property underwrites as a long-term rental, I like hospitality, I want to do a midterm rental, what should I buy?
In our area, first off, okay, this is our personal opinion. So in the state of Arkansas, where we mainly serve at, we only buy it if it cash flows as a long-term rental.
Correct.
And then after it cash flows as a long-term rental, the midterm and short-term is nothing but cherry on top, because we rent the property from ourselves to the LLC that operates it. So we still get the monthly rent. So I'm going to, like in that area, I already know what type of clientele is in that area and what type of clientele is coming. So I now know how to find the type of property that's going to cater to them. So we just closed on a duplex. Now the duplex I love them too. Now the thing about this duplex was it was a 3-bed, 2-bath on each side. First off, rare. I'm like, oh, we got to get this. But the builder, he wasn't going to fence it. And all the other duplexes that he built weren't fenced. So I'm like, hey, we'll pay extra, just fence it. And he was willing to pay extra, and he didn't even really charge us for it. He just charged us for like a little bit of it, and he was like, you guys can have it. He just wanted to get it off his hands because he had a bunch of them for sale. So we fenced
Are there
it.
more for sale?
Yeah, other duplexes are for sale. Yeah, we can tell you where they are. And the thing about it was, he was like, hey, we'll go ahead and fence it. So we made sure it was fenced. It was 3 beds, 2 baths, furnished it exactly like we do our other ones. And we knew the type of clientele. So immediately right off the bat, what did we get? Construction workers immediately. So the great thing with duplexes is we created 3 listings, 1 for each side, and then 1 for the whole thing. What we found was we were shocked. All the construction workers wanted the whole thing because they wanted the 6 beds and 4 baths. And they've been just paying an arm and a leg to stay there, and it's been working perfect. But that couldn't have happened if we just didn't know the clientele and what they needed when they were there.
Yeah.
So.
We talked about that in our little thing over there.
Yep.
On the panel about midterm rentals is when you buy a property, know who you're serving.
Know exactly who you're serving.
I saw you nodding.
Yeah, you saw it. Yes, know exactly who you're serving, because that's the reason.
Mahogany, what do you have to say?
I would say try to avoid smaller units if you're going to be doing short-term or midterm, just because if you have a 3-bed, 1 bath, that's what we got off of in the flood zone. It was really hard to get people because they want to come travel with their family. Yeah. There's a little nook of a table, can't really put like a 6-8 seater. So just look for something that you'd want to stay at with your family, not just something tiny.
I agree with that. I see a lot of people trying to buy 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, 4 bedrooms, 1 bath. I'm like, nobody wants to sleep 8 people in a house and share 1 bathroom.
Absolutely not.
Right? That's just terrible, terrible. One of my buy box, seeing what I see in the insurance relocation space and the type of people that I host, number 1, duplexes all the way. Yes. Just because, especially in good school districts, I just think that's just a phenomenal real estate strategy in general. Yeah. Number 2, though, if it was a single family home, I love 4-bedroom single story homes.
Yeah. I love them too.
Yeah, I think in most markets there's so many 3-bedroom, 2-bath Airbnbs. Yeah. And once those start dominoing effect into the midterm rental space, you're suddenly going to become saturated with all these STRs that just came down. Yeah. And having something that's different is so important. And I love Price Labs, just like you. Yeah. For me, I see Price Labs as a competitive intelligence tool.
Ooh, I love that.
Right? You build that comp set, you look at their listings, you look at their amenities, you look how much they're paying for cleaning. There's so many things you can do in the market dashboard report that people are just like, oh, but I don't need dynamic pricing in midterm rentals. Actually, let's talk about that. Is dynamic pricing important in midterm rentals?
Very important in midterm rentals. We use it, that's why we love Price Labs. Because Price Labs now has a feature that will set your pricing up for midterm rentals where you can click it and set it up. We actually do it with everything with Price Labs, especially not only dynamic pricing, but like even the structure of your calendar. So we set ours up. So if you're looking to book, because I told you we mix midterm and short term, if you're looking to book anything 30 days out, you have to stay a minimum of 30 days. If you're looking to stay, let's say 2 weeks out, you have to stay a minimum of 10 days. So now when you get on Airbnb and someone's looking for next month, my properties aren't showing up for the guy that wants the weekend. It's only showing up for the person that wants the longer stay. So that's how we're able to get a lot of inquiries off of like the OTAs. But yeah, as far as the pricing goes, it's doing the same thing. It's adjusting rates based upon what the market sees. And the reason why I love Price Labs is it's grabbing that direct data from the OTA, like the hostfullies, where people have direct booking information in there. So I love that. And another thing we were talking about with 3 beds, 1 baths, I think that's the power of the 1031 exchange that people don't realize. And I noticed, I think yesterday, some guy turned 8 units into 80 units. So how we got that duplex was we turned a 3-bed, 1 bath, underperforming short-term rental and midterm rental into now a 6-bed, 4-bath duplex that's outperforming it. And it's just due to the power of 1031 exchange.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to my first 1031 because I think too many people sit on the sidelines saying like I can't afford it or I can't get what I want. Yeah. And I think that's not the way to approach real estate. You should try and get what you can get right now and then just 1031 into later. Like for me, I would love to have commercial real estate, but when I first started, I couldn't afford it either. So I just started investing in what I could afford.
Yeah.
Because if you don't get started and you just keep waiting for the right time's never going to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna and how you said the right time, right? So let's actually. This is the cool part about this duplex that we don't even really talk about. So let's tell you how we got that duplex. So we did a 1031 exchange, right? So the 3-bed, 1-bath house, we bought it for $35,000 out of the auction. We put 35 into it, so we're all in at 70. It appraised at 95,000. We put it on Airbnb. Now, by the way, we furnished it through the hard money, all that. We put it on Airbnb.
Furnish it through hard money.
Yeah.
Use hard money to furnish.
Yes. All of that money.
I'm
sorry, not hard money. We used a business line of credit. So we bought it. Okay, we bought it with a home HELOC. Yeah. Used the BLOC to fix it up, but we took the BLOC money and bought the furniture with it. So when we did the refinance, it appraised at 95. We pulled all of our money back out because we were able to rent that 3-bed, 1-bath. These are the days when Airbnb was just printing money, right?
Right.
We made $10,000 off of it in 60 days. So we basically got a free house. We rented it for 5 years, from 2020 to 2025. 2025, we 1031 exchanged it, took all the equity, moved it into the duplex. So we basically got a free duplex.
That's incredible. Oh my God. That is how wealth is built, my friends.
Yes.
That is how wealth is built.
Yeah, that's how we pulled that off. So there's power in doing it right now. Don't wait for the market or anything. Just get a good deal right now.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of people on the fence because they're worried about the interest rates. What do you say to that?
So if you're worried about the interest rates, that's why I say if you can buy something that cash flows right now, long term with the interest rates, and let's say they do dip, you can now refinance lower. Let's say they go up. Well, you're still in a good place. So the duplex is on a 7.125. However, the mortgage on it's 26, but on long term it rents for $1,500 each side. That's $3,000 a month. Yep. So if the interest rates dip, we refinance.
It becomes fun money.
Exactly, it's fun money. We have another property, I think Woodrow. It's out at a 7.2. If the interest rates dip, we can refinance. If they go up, well, we're still sitting at a good spot. So you can't wait and time the market. Just make a move now. You know?
Yeah, I completely agree. Well, that's all super amazing advice. Anything else you want to share?
Anything else? I thought I had something. I forgot because we were talking. This is such a good conversation.
I can tell he likes to talk.
Oh, I definitely do. I can talk about
I can talk all day too.
Yeah, real estate. I can talk about it all day. I have like 300 hours of me and my friend just talking about this. So yeah, I love it. Yeah. But for anyone looking to get involved though, do your due diligence, do your research. And then, there's plenty of people to follow on Instagram. Follow Vivian, Bigger Pockets. It's a bunch of places to look. And, you can find a mentor and do it.
Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody, for listening in today with Myka and Mahogany. If you ever need any help in the Central Arkansas or even the Texas area, you know who to call.
There you go.
Welcome to the ARC Watchtower. Do you know what the major online travel platforms actually cover? Most hosts don't until it's too late. Payout delays, denied claims, and no protection for direct bookings, midterm stays, or reverse arbitrage setups. That's why there's ARC Watchtower, with up to $50,000 in damage protection and $1 million in liability coverage for every stay on every platform. It's automated, platform agnostic, and built for today's operators, from short-term hosts to midterm rental pros and reverse arbitrage managers placing insurance or corporate guests. Sign up today in 60 seconds. No forms, no gaps, just real protection.